All right, guys, I'm the Nerd Doctor here to diagnose what's wrong with your RPG games and here to help you fix it. And today, I'm going to be talking about the DC20 Forge DM screen. I actually made a video for this and went ahead and went to edit it, and for some reason, my screen recorder did not record. So that's what I'm going to spend the first part of this live stream just going over some of the features of the DM screen for the paid version, along with some of the updates I have added, so that people who may not have a subscription can still get full benefits of using the DM screen. Well, maybe not full benefits, but get some benefits of using the DM screen on DC20 Forge. So if you haven't heard of DC20 Forge, head over to DC20Forge.com and check it out. So it is meant to be your one-stop shop for your uh, digital companions for DC20, from digital character sheet to campaign builder to inviting players in order to track that campaign. Have a live party chat in, so if you are, if you're either in person or distanced, you'll be able to talk in that party chat, schedule your sessions, track NPCs, locations, everything like that, and share content. So if your DM has a subscription and has purchased DC20 content, you can share it with players and they can play DC20. On top of that, you got custom builders across pretty much everything except spells and maneuvers. The only thing I have not done yet in terms of customization, community homebrew. And so much more. But today we're going to be talking about the DM screen. So let me bring this up real quick. All right, here we go. So right off the bat, let's just take a quick look at the layout. We've got on the very top, you can see I've got the Iron Isles listed. You can actually click this and choose any of the campaigns you're currently in, and you can go ahead and do that. One thing that you may see changing at the bottom is number of players. So depending on the campaign you click, you might see the different number of players. So one of the widgets on here, let me actually pick one with players. One of the widgets on here is a players widget. So if you need a quick look at your players character sheet and what they have listed, their resources, their features, spells, maneuvers, equipment journal, all of it is in here. You can click any of them to see what they do. This is just a quick way for DMs. If your player does not understand something, you can come right in here, click what that is, and interpret. Also at the top here, you start recording. So if you're someone who doesn't really have a recorder, or you have one that can plug into your computer, what you can do is you can hit start recording and start basically recording your adventure. So if you're in person especially, you can do this. If you have a way to connect a mic to something on the computer, if you're doing a online game, you can do that there too. At least that's the hope. So if anyone has any trouble with that, let me know, because I'd like to make sure that feature works for people so they can record for any in-app session as well. But what that'll do is it'll transcribe your session and then give a narrative summary, pull up the important NPCs, locations, magic items, combats that you may have faced in there, and put it in your campaign. This is just my main one. This is a future thing, but I wanted to make you have the ability to have more than one DM screen. So maybe different modes, maybe whatever it is. So this is my main DM screen. I can expand it and collapse everything. I can do a quick rules lookup to figure out anything I need from there. And then settings just shows you where what widgets I have active. So just going through these real quick. So let's start with quick rules. So quick rules, this just lists all the actions. You can click any one of them and tells you what the actions do. Just different damage types, nothing life-changing. Monster rolls. So if you're someone who, maybe you want to look, if you're running the monsters in a certain way and according to their monster rolls, if you ever want a quick lookup of what their damage, their HP, what their specializations are, you can quickly look that up here. Calendar. So if you have a campaign calendar, like I do with my Adventures of Pangaea game, you can keep track of the days. This is connected to my Adventures of Pangaea campaign, so my players can actually look up what the calendar date, if there's any celestial events, important holidays, or anything going on in the background. DC checks, and so this is, the DM screen is meant to be both user friendly as well as veteran friendly. So this may not be something that a lot of veterans use, but these are just common DC checks, and what degree: very easy, moderate, hard. degrees of failure and success, so common DCs for different things. A lot of it's made up right now until DC20 comes out with a few more rules, and then what happens with the Nat 20 and Natural 1. Visions and light. So just covering different types of vision: dark vision, delta sight, blind sight, tremor sight, and true sight. Light levels, kind of what you're able to see in different levels of darkness, and cover, how that affects your rolls if utilizing cover. Rest, this may be another thing that a lot of DMs don't use a lot of, but because in the character sheet you can actually click on the rest button, it will tell you exactly this information, so you may not use it on the DM screen, but it's always good for reference if you need it. Environment. So this talks about terrain. Another little quick reference for lighting, just trying to make it easy for people to find that. Same thing with cover, hazards, objects, just different PDs, ADs. Again, totally made up right now until DC20 comes out with it, with more information on that. Creatures in combat, this is probably going to be the most used widget out of everything. This is basically the entire Creatures in Combat chapter broken up into a lot of different moving parts to situations from prone, flanking, natural weapons, unarmed strikes, improvised weapons, throwing, falling, collision. All those are very rules that aren't inherently used a lot in other systems, so this will be a place where you need to look that up. Random generators is just something fun I've been kind of working on and expanding more and more over time. But anything from NPC names, tavern events, weather, travel complications, column, it'll randomly generate what that name is. I can also choose from different ancestries and even different ethnicities. If you have a Korean or whatever, you name it, Japanese, it'll roll you names that you can use. You can pin it if you want to hold on to it and you reference it later. And you can also, there is an NPCs section up here, so if you create that NPCs, it's great to pin it, and then you can go back and type more information about it and add it to the campaign, which if you're transcribing, you already have anyway. Saved encounters. Again, this may not be something you keep on this particular screen, but it will show you a quick list of any of the encounters in case you need to bring them up from this screen. The Oracle. So this was actually inspired by the Mythic GM emulator. If you've heard of it, it's an emulator. It's just, there's a lot of different emulators out there, but it's the emulator designed for if you're playing without a DM. So if you need to consult the Oracle on a yes or no question, you just story, twist, NPC, location, object. This will just help you kind of do that. I've actually played this a little bit with some friends. It's actually a lot of fun to play with the cards, but I wanted to throw in a DM screen one for the fun of it as well. And then we've got conditions, another important one that DMs are probably going to want, but I've actually added a lot more to this across the board on the website. So if you have a monster and it lists a condition, you can actually click it from there and read it there. So you may not need this as much, but I think it's always good to reference it just in case if you do need the widget. Legend lore. This was This was one of the big things that I wanted for a long time when I made DC20 Forge, is a place where you could easily look up the lore of your world. So this one's actually way more fleshed out. But anything I want to know about any of these regions, I can go right to it from here. I can search it and bring it up. But anything about the worlds that you build, you can look up right from Lore Engine. The whole purpose of the DM screen is that you as a DM do not have to move to any other page to get any information that you need when you're playing DC20. Then we have the shop generator, another recent addition. Anything from general store, blacksmith, go ahead, no magic items to a couple magic items. It'll go ahead and generate those for you, how much they cost, what it has in stock. It's just a random generator for those moments where you really need it. If you want to plan it, you can go ahead and do that. But I already went over the players. Whoops. Yeah, you can also drag and drop this, move it around in any order that you want, whatever feels best. And then areas of effect. So if you're new to DC20, this might be good for you. But how different spell shapes can basically be depicted, you can find right here in areas of effect. And that is the dashboard. That is the DM screen, the most important part. This is the main paid feature. So you have to be Forge Master or Dragon Forged to access this kind of dashboard. You can't customize it. you can create your own widgets and own if you have homebrew rules or anything like that. The second most important, and this is kind of where I've really edited things most recently. So if you own any of the modules built, so Escape from Mythical Mines, Trouble in the Tradeway, Shade Willow, and the future ones that come out, if you purchase that, you can come in here and you can use the scene section even if you have a free tier. So you can, if you want to test out the DM screen and how these scenes work first, you can come here and do that. You can open those up and see what the scenes look like. NPCs, this is something that you kind of add yourself. It's not something that's imported, but I did allow that feature to the free version as well, just so you can play with that. And then encounters. Every one of these modules I've started building in the encounters that come with them. Now it does not include the NPCs, so you have to go and add those yourself in the encounter builder. But if you want to, if I'm sitting here running it, if you own it, you will see the encounters for that module here. You can click Run Encounter. It'll pop up at the bottom, and it'll basically run everything that's there. Now, obviously, I haven't added the PCs. You can add them from this. More effective if you're trying to balance it to run it from the encounter builder. But yeah, you can run all of that in here. You can also see all of your modules in here. The encounter builder actually runs on every single screen, so that no matter which one you are on, you are basically seeing it from there. All right, so that's pretty much the DM screen in a nutshell. So if anyone's on, I haven't looked yet for the chat, but if anyone's on and has any questions about the DM screen and what's planned for the future, please feel, or anything else about DC20, feel free. But play smarter and stay clever. That's a wrap for this. Anything else is the Q&A for the live stream tonight. So let's see. Liam, of course, my main man. Oh, awesome. Been a while since I checked out the site. We best not touch monsters till we get the monster PDF next month. If the newest magazine is anything to go by, a lot of teams are being changed with monsters. Yeah, I've heard a lot's going to be changed. So I'll probably upload the most recent, but because I would assume that, because they just came out with a new monster manual, right? So I would assume that that whatever new rules are going to be coming out with monsters next month will be is already built into this one. Otherwise, why release it? That's just my 2 cents. But terms, a lot of terms being, oh yeah, because I know that like Apex and Legendary, I feel like are disappearing, I believe. So I'll figure out how to rework excuse me, I'll figure out how to rework all of that once that happens. But that's what I took on, so I signed up for, to evolve DC20 with DC20. But how's the because I don't know what it is. How's the funding for the going to, what was it? Not PAX. You know what I'm talking about. How's the funding going for that? Have you been able to raise the money? Oh, I was able to wrap that up in 13 minutes. That's good. Was there anything I missed? I don't think so. I think I got everything. My goal was to get through it quickly. How are infusions coming? So I'm trying. So I mean, I know I got to dig through it, but like someone had mentioned that it took me a while to find the magic items. So one of the devs sent me the version 2 of magic items, and I know I went through it and updated it on my birthday in January, and so and I know I just have to go work through them one at a time and make sure each one's working the way it's supposed to, but I have to go through and just make sure all the powers are what they're supposed to be, because I know because someone mentioned that they were off, and I couldn't figure out. I couldn't figure out. I couldn't necessarily see it when I was looking at the infusions, other than ones that were obviously 0 power that should have a minimum cost of 1. But and I don't know if maybe he was just assuming that my numbers were wrong because he might be looking at the old book, whereas I'm looking at the updated. But no, I still have to kind of dig through them. I haven't had a lot of time lately, but I've been working on a few bugs for a few players, and just dealing with like. And again, I'm not sure if it's 100% fixed yet because I had someone who signed up, but none of their stuff unlocked, and I had to make sure it would, but I had to like manually do almost all of it, and so I'm trying to make sure that it's anyone who signs up in the future isn't having that same problem. Gen Con, and not as of yet. Had to lower my DAO. Oh, good, nice. You got the tickets. Well, hopefully you. Hopefully that comes. Hopefully that comes. Wish you the best of luck. Excuse me. I started social media ads trying to expand the name of DC20 and DC20 Forge. I'm only throwing out a few $100. I'm throwing out $150 a month just to get it. But it seemed to get a few signups, at least free ones. My $150 bought 3 free signups. But it's a long-term play, just trying to get the name out there a little bit more at a time. I'm still in the black, so not making enough to ship us both there just yet, Liam. But I got a lot of faith in it. I honestly think DC20 Forge is top notch. I really do. I know it has its bugs here and there, and those will get worked out over time. But it's got great functionality. It's got a great look to it. I was thinking about trying to compact it a little bit on the computer screen. Someone had the idea of having instead of down the side, like it is, or down the bottom like it is, having the icons down the side so that they can access from a side view. And I'm trying to figure out how I would rework that. Haven't quite figured that out yet. But we'll play with it. I'll play with it. I'll see what I can do with it. I certainly get it. When I look at D&D Beyond, I do see, like, you can see it's very little up and down scrolling. Pretty much everything is compacted. And most everything you need is right there with like a smaller panel. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I might have to take my basis off of it a little bit, but I just don't know how I'm gonna rework it just yet. Because everything's very, very easy to find, at least from the computer view. I think the mobile view is pretty solid at this point. If you don't have time, I could run a one shot for you and Onyx and whoever else. That way you could use DC20 Forge as a player. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could find the time for that. I am working. I did. So what I did is I am working on a module. I'm gonna kind of use you and Onyx, and Cabano I don't think is a Dragonforge patron anymore. But he was, so he at least earns a spot on a run game. But I am working on a module. And so I was gonna use you guys as my test run for me building it out, and seeing what you guys think of it before I release it to DC20 Forge. Trying to get my local DC20 group to try my DC20 campaign, but they are reluctant. A couple reported they encountered bugs, but they have not yet reported them on your Discord. Okay, my DC20 Forge campaign. So yeah, I mean, look, Jeff, best advice I can say is like if they report it either on my Discord or at the bottom page, I'm really fast about getting it. Generally speaking, I mean, like the last few what I've had to deal with, it took me like 2 days, 2 or 3 days to get to, but you know, most people aren't playing every single day, and if you've got if you got problems on Saturday campaign day, and I got a week to get to it, I will have their stuff working before their game. And give me a deadline. Better yet, if you got a problem and you're like need it ready for game day this day, get it there, because like I can't make this game better if I don't know. If I can't make the app better if I don't know what's wrong. So go ahead and show them this clip. I'm recording. This is recording at 21 minutes. All right. I think I was just answering that question for like 20 seconds at least. 21-minute marker. Show them. Tell them to click this live stream and say, I, the Nerd Doctor, Sean, will, if they have problems and they either report it to the campaign or they go through the support button on the website, which is a little bit better if they go through the support button on the website, because it's one, it's easier for me to organize bugs through that, and two, because they have to email me with their account email, I know how to go straight to their page and fix whatever's wrong. I had 2 users this past week tell me about a couple of problems that they were dealing with, and they're all good. And one of them just DM'd a game with a bunch of players and just told me that they had a couple little small minor issues, but overall loved it. And I'm working on fixing them as quickly as I can, because I want this to be as seamless as possible, and I want this to be the spot. He's not wrong. I found practically all the issues before launch. He fixes things quickly. I try. But yeah, tell your users, tell your campaign guys to look up 21-minute marker on this live stream, and so I can give them my personal promise. I am not. This is not something I'm leaving in the winds. Just like, oh, it's done. Good luck. No, like I personally use it a lot, like when building my own games. But I don't have time to play test everything. So this is where the DC20 community can really help refine the small bugs. I got one I was working on today, which it's been annoying the little crap out of me because it's not the first time it's happened, and I'm still trying to make sure it's working. But there was a stupid bug where if you made a custom item, a custom weapon, and if you added it to your inventory, there were 2 problems with it. Number one is if you like added it to your carried items and then you went to like character creator, it wouldn't appear in your carried items. And then if you saved your character sheet, it would no longer be there. Well, number one, that's a problem. So fix that. Number 2 is it would, if you navigated away from the page and then back, it wouldn't necessarily identify it as a carried item. But here, let me tell you a cool feature, Jeff. Are you still with me, Jeff? Are you still in here? All right, you are. Okay. Here, let me show you something. I'm going to go in as one of my personal users. Give me a sec here. Hold on. Let me open it first, because I gotta kind of hide certain things. Let me see. Act as this person. Let me just make sure I set my scene first. Window. That's not what I want. I don't know if I can do it right now. But anyways, I'm going to tell you exactly where to go and check this out. So if they are in a campaign, in your personal campaign on DC20 Forge, they've been invited to it, and you go to equipment. This is a cool feature I had a little while ago, but you can, if say you build a magic item and you share it homebrew and you give it to one of your players, and they want to hand that off to another person in the party. Well, here's what you don't have to do. They don't have to go to the homebrew community, figure out where you shared it, or if you shared it in the campaign, they don't have to go searching for it and add it manually that way. There is a special search. There's a special party inventory that you have when you are in a shared campaign, and you can just click a button that will share to party, and then one of your party members can go and take it and add it to their inventory. It was just meant to be a cool, fun way to exchange items, particularly, and I know, Liam, you're going to tell me to get off my butt and work on infusions, but the purpose of it that was, if you were artificer and you made an infused item, how are you supposed to give an infused item to another player? Now, of course, anyone can go and search a custom item a regular item that is built and added to their inventory, but how do you do an infused one? So this is the way the artificer can do that. They can take the infused item, share it to their party. That party can get the benefit of using that infused item. One of my favorite thought childs when I was like, but how does someone... And I'm still working on a few other things because the artificer is just so damn involved. Like ways where they can negate it, even if it's in someone else's inventory. Hide nothing, no secrets. Well, I can't just share my screen and show someone's email. That's the only problem. So, and that's something I do have to check though, is like if you as an artificer uninfuse and the item is not in your inventory, does it uninfuse in someone else's? So that's something I still need to figure out. If it works, it should, but that doesn't mean it will. So I have to double check that. But yeah, can't share someone's email, so I can't show it to you, and I don't have any characters in a game. But to answer your question, Liam, happy to play a game. But I also know I owe you, Onyx, and Kimbano, and I think one other person a game, and I wanted to get your guys's feedback on the module I'm building. I'm trying to go a little different than what other stuff is out there. So tell me what you guys think of this. I'm working on a feudal Japan-like setting. Certainly a lot of fantasy element, don't get me wrong, but that's the kind of feel I'm going for, and it's gonna be sick. I've got a really cool outline for it, and I'm really excited to share it, and it's gonna be my first kind of produced module. I'm just trying to figure out some of the logistics of building scenes in it. I'm building it in DC20, so it's only going to be sold in DC20 Forge. Sorry. Off the top of your head, Jeff, could you name any of the bugs that they might have mentioned? I'm just wondering if it happens to be any of the equipment bugs that I was just talking about, because that's like one of the only ones I have consistently seen as an issue. Is there a way to make magic items inert? One of the artificer's Paragon talents lets you drain magic items from magic. Yeah, I mean it definitely should. Like it should. And again, let me just take a look here real quick. Do I have an artificer stacked up already in my tests? Pretty sure I do. There you are. So there is an ability. Let me just check real quick. Am I in the artificer? No, this isn't the artificer. What the heck? This is the artificer. All right, let me take a look. So class, maybe is, no, is one of the, so transpose property. And again, maybe I'm thinking of something different, but the transpose property, if you have a magic item, should make it inert. That ritual, unless there's something else I'm missing here, and I'll have to take a look at the Paragon talents to see what I'm missing. It's yeah. I'm definitely happy to see some inspiration for it. So feel free to make some stuff and throw it into the community. Well, maybe not community, but but yeah, feel free to make some templates and share it with me, because I've got some, and I'm a big like, so there's a few different inspirations here. I just got finished playing it. Highly recommended to me. I just got finished playing with Ghosts of Tsushima. So I'm a big fan of feudal Japan type stuff, and I'm a big fan of Naruto. Is one of my big inspirations. Like, one of the big things I'm working on is a homebrew damage system that involves like combo elements, and not, this is more for my homebrew, just seeing if there's a way to do it. I'm not trying to like mess with the rules or anything like that, but I really like the combination, like the concept of like a combo element and like a combo spellcast in DC20 that can make a combo element to overcome certain resistances. Again, that's probably a little crunchy, but it's definitely something I'm interested in. But in any case, it's basically, in my setting, there are several islands. Each island is protected by a warden. This warden has, and again, you're going to see the inspirations from Naruto, but it's not like word for word, one from one or anything like that. But these wardens, well, quick background. In my world, there was a calamity that the lesser planes, the lower planes, were unleashed onto the world, and the upper planes sent their armies into the material world, and there was a massive battle fought. A third of the world is all that's left. A third of the population is all left. 2/3 of the population destroyed in this war. But there are 10 elemental beings that are known as sovereigns, and they were unleashed during the calamity, and a certain clan was able to seal them up during the calamity, and they become the protectors of the sovereigns, or the guardians of the sovereigns, or the wardens. They're called wardens. The wardens of the sovereigns, and the reason that this island nation, out of this, like, I have a super continent for my world, and this one island nation is kind of independent and isolated, is because of their military might and the power of the wardens. And basically, the idea I'm working on with this campaign is there are 4 major clans that basically protect the sovereign, and there's protect the warden. There's one on each island, and the campaign is going to start with, I'm going to do something a little bit unique and new. Is I'm going to write an actual novice and level 0 into the module, and so I'll give a choice of the 4 major clans, and some lesser ones that can also be involved in this. And each one is going to have come with a special talent. So depending on which one you are, you get a talent, but it's an evolving talent. So as you just get certain levels, your talent will unlock more features. It's kind of like a subclass feature in that sense, but it's meant to. I didn't want to write subclasses for every single possible, like for every clan, for every single possible class you could pick. So I'm just going to go with a talent per clan, and that's going to be kind of the cool theme. They mentioned in the middle of the session, I was running, damn, I hate it when it's right in the middle. By the way, any idea when we will be able to add custom abilities to magic items? Is that not already a thing? Do I not have that? Custom abilities to magic items. I don't even feel like that thing's been requested yet. Let me go to magic items. Magic items. Create custom item. So custom abilities. Add custom ability. It's there. I don't know what to tell you, but it's there. It's just a description, ability name, magic power, AP cost, charge cost, if it requires a tune, but it's there. It's not a property, if that's what you mean, but there you can add a custom ability. You just gotta when you go to create custom item, you go to custom abilities. It's right there at the top. I got you. It's like, I think it was like the first thing I did is make sure there was a custom ability maker, custom property maker. It may not work like the other properties. Like for instance, if a property increase your speed when equipped, well, it's pretty much anything that's going to affect, cause an effect or change in the character sheet is really difficult for me to add any kind of thing that affects that. I've been working on some ways for that to work in, I believe, is it in talents? It might not be in talent. Oh, add mechanical effect. Okay, add mechanical effect. Yeah, okay. So I have in talents, class, subclass, stuff like that, I have added in ways to add effects that are supposed to affect the character sheet when they're in effect. I believe it's ancestries as well. So, but most of them should already be accounted for in the properties. I believe that he just took away, in the Magic Items version 2, he took away the attribute increase properties. I don't know, maybe they were too strong. But yeah, they weren't in version 2. And so I tried to make sure that if you made an ability that did that, it could be accounted for. But I don't think there is a other than attributes, I do not think there's a property in DC20 that would have an impact that you could add. I mean, I could add that feature button, but I don't know if it would really be adding anything to the custom button. It might just be making the code more complicated. Costume talent of that module, 3 times per day, gain a spell focus property when casting a spell. Costume talent. I'm assuming it's custom. Custom talent of that module, 3 times per day, gain a spell focus property when casting a spell, if the player casts using hand signs. Close the edit item window. Okay, so that's a bug. All right, I'm going to add that to my, I'm going to add it to, where are you? To my Trello. So, known issues, no, bugs. Working on, no, that's known issues, custom magic item ability is closing custom magic item builder. All right, that's on my docket for tomorrow. Add mana and SP limit note on character sheet. Restructure PC view of character sheet. I'm just trying to condense some stuff. There, okay. I added those few things to it, so I will take a look at that. And I will have that magic item thing working for you, probably for end of day tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got, I think, a pretty short day, so I'll be able to work on the module and a few other things for DC20 Forge. Maybe some infusions. I'm sorry, Liam. Infusions are daunting. They're very daunting. There's so many of them. It's hard for me to kind of get into a work mode to just grind on them. And I still have to get the new DC20 magazine up, the new monsters up, which I also think I really want to do tomorrow. I see you have to return. All right, have a good one, Liam. All right, well, Jeff, just tell your players, if you're still there, just tell them that I am sorry for any hiccups or bugs that they faced. I appreciate them giving it a shot. If they'll give me another shot after they've reported the bugs, more than very much would appreciate it, just because I do want to make sure they do have a great experience. And yeah, I've had some great feedback and stuff on Discord, so I've been able to address a lot, but it's always possible that if someone doesn't report something, I have no idea. No idea. But hope your game went well. Are you using the DM screen? Are you using the campaign page? Have you liked everything going on with those? Let me exit that. Don't need that. Let me see. What was Liam talking about? What was... That's not right. I need resources. Artificer. Artificer. There we are. Artificer talents. Artificer engine. Fusion conduits. That just has mana core. I think he was talking about the actual class feature. Or is it, he said Paragon. Am I missing something here? I feel like I am. Subclass Apothecary Armor. I'm missing something. Yo, what am I missing? I don't understand. He said Paragon Talent. It's a ritual. I think he meant the ritual. Transpose magic property. I think he meant the ritual, not Paragon, because I don't even have Paragon. Let's check the old drive, because drive might tell me what I'm missing here. Where are you? There you are. Artificer. Paragon talents. Artificer engine and future conduits. Nope, I didn't miss anything. Artificer engine. Yeah, it becomes mundane. I'm pretty sure I have a feature that allows items to become mundane. I'll send them a link to your message once the Steam ends. Perfect. I'm old school. I have paper notes. That's fair. That's fair. But use technology to prepare. Do you use the scenes at all? I'm just curious if you use the scene builder in the DM screen, or the encounter runner. and for that matter, the world builder. I do think the world builder was a great brainchild for me, just because I know there's a lot of world builder, you know, stuff out there, but not none of the ones I know of integrate with like a DM screen or anything like that. Like I don't think there. I haven't heard of, if there is one, a digital DM screen. Um, Not nor one that you could like pull from your world, like the notes. Like if you're in the game and you need like a DM screen with all that stuff in front of you, like a one that has a quick access to your world's lore. Um, which it doesn't matter if you like to do your whole world or if you're just trying to do one little region. Just to have that thought out in any way, shape, or form, which you don't even have to do, I know, but um, just having that ability to go back and look at something, like for me, I have a council of kings, like I've named at least the kings of all the areas in my world, as I feel like, oh, that's probably important, and so when someone asks me who it is, easy way to look it up, easy. But I probably won't stay on too much longer. Just, I don't like to do super, super long streams. We're only got about 14 minutes left in the hour anyway. So if you have any final notes or questions, feel free to send them over. Be happy to answer them. Otherwise, again, if there's anything I can do to help make your game better, or make DC20 Forge more easily usable for you or your players, please let me know, as I'm always looking to make it more user accessible. One person came back to me today and said, like, what if we added, instead of having those bottom pages where you have your actions, skills, and everything like that, instead of having that all down there, having a way to basically put it all down the side. And that's easy enough to do on a computer, less so on a mobile device. But I'm already looking at trying to rework the character sheet to make it even more user accessible and easy to find everything that you're looking for. Just trying to take inspiration a little bit from. I do think that they did a really good job over at D&D Beyond, because you scroll like this much to see what you need to see, and we'll see if I can mirror that same effect. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the chat then, wrap up the live stream. Thanks for coming on, Jeff, and let me know that. And I hope your players, enjoy. No, I have no computer during the session. I used to work in IT and don't trust them. That's fair. So I'll tell you what, we'll give you a brief, like how it went for me. And I did a DC20 session with a player who was going to be completely new. He was using the character sheet, and one other person using the character sheet, totally new to the DC20 rules, don't know anything. I definitely felt like I worked out a lot of the kinks that I was having with the encounter runner, with just being able to bounce it back and forth between the certain screens and everything like that, accessing information, the scenes. I definitely worked out a lot of flow kinks when I was using it, and all of it was so handy just to never have to leave the DM screen when I was playing with them, and they asked me questions about their players. I showed this earlier. I don't know if you were on the live stream when I was, but in here, if they have their character sheets made, and you choose whichever campaign you need at the top here. You can go in here and you can see their attributes, their combat stats, their resources, their class features, spells, maneuvers, if they have any. But you don't know the spell, there you go. You can read it right there. Any of the equipment that they have. It looks like you can't click those, but I will fix that. And anything they might have in their journal. Oh, he's a bastard. There we go. So yeah, it's read only, but you can access that from your DM screen too. Just a way to be helpful. And I was using World Anvil to track my homebrew world for a while, but then they updated it and it started losing my info. That's annoying. I don't think you're gonna have that problem, because I won't be deleting people's info. By the way, how long does it take you to update DC20 Forge each time coach rolls out update rules? It really depends on when he gets it to me and what's going on in my life at the same time. And really, it just also depends on how much he has to change. I slogged through a few nights for the last one because of spells. Spells was insane. So getting through the actual feature changes, normally not too much, because it's most of the time it's just me having to go into the rule book and just update those sections most of the time. It's when he changes something a little bit more code critical, like for example, you go to character sheets. Let's see. Let's just pick something like champions. Good. All right. So you go into classes, and he's got fighting spirit, right? Second wind. So to change this text is no problem. If I were to go update that, if I were to go into the rules and I updated it in here, it would automatically update. Easy. I made it this way so that if I updated rules and feature sessions, everything in here would auto update. I don't have to go through a bunch of other stuff. But second win, if I click this button and it's supposed to do this, 2 HP, 2 SP, again, this one is probably a bad example because this is probably pretty easy. But there are ones that can be really complicated. Pact weapon is a perfect example. Spell blades, binding this the weapon, pact armor. Those are all a little bit crazy. So when it comes to recoding some of those, it can get a little nuts. But for the most part, it's relatively straightforward. But last time it was just a big exception because spells were just. I worked on. My main thing is I created extractors. So if like I upload a PDF of like magic items, it'll extract them and put them there. Same thing with monsters. It helps save me a lot of time, but usually comes with like I have to go in and fix a few things. But it's still way less time than me having to go in and type in information of every single thing. And players are almost interested in your character builder at this point. So many options as you level up. And one of the things I was working on adding, I have to double check it to make sure it worked. I remember I was in the middle of it. I don't think I finished it. But I meant to add talents to every level above 4. Yeah, no, it didn't finish. I gotta fix that. But because obviously levels 5 through 10 are not out yet, I wanted you to be able to go in and get a level up feature. So you get a talent at every level until obviously those levels come out. So I was trying to make it so that people could continue playing using DC20 Forge in a way. It was just something coach recommended to me. Just like give them a talent, give them a free talent, and you can go in and do that. It's obviously not as cool as getting a level 5 or level 7 feature, capstone feature, or anything like that. But also, if you can go in and make a custom capstone feature, if you have at least adventure level, you can go and create a custom subclass, custom level 6 or level 7 feature, whatever it's going to come out to be when level 5 comes out. I think you made the subclass feature level 7 now. I think is that a 6, but you can go in and make those and do that instead. But I wanted to give something for those higher levels if people are playing past level 5 while everything comes out. Yeah, so many options. I just think the character builders are so clutch because it saves so much time. And I'm going to be coming out, as soon as he comes out with a new character sheet, I will have it more fleshed out where someone can, like right now, you can click the PDF and it'll at least download all your basic stats filled out. It'll name your features and stuff, but it just doesn't give you any descriptions. But in the future, I want it to be able to have descriptions and stuff. But all right, with only 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up because I'm tired. Wednesdays are long days. But thanks for jumping on, Jeff. Really appreciate the questions and the chatting. Yeah, hit me up on Discord if you've got any more questions or feedback or recommendations. Happy to keep working with you guys. Want to make sure you guys have a great next session. Hopefully using DC20 Forge. All right. Thanks. And again, as I say to all my watchers, hopefully you're watching the next day or something like that. But thanks for listening. Stay clever. Play smarter. Good night.